Cali Fish Keeper. This is a little bit late video for me today. I'm doing this video because I just got back from Phoenix. My wife and I were up there today to go spend the day. We were both happen to be off. And while I was up there, I contacted one of the Southwest Aquatic Society members. His name's Mike Coleman. He's one of the breeders that's in our fish club, and I called him up because I was looking for some fish that I've been trying to find for a while, and it turned out that he had some that he was willing to sell. So I picked them up, and let me turn you around and show you what I got. I know it's a little dark right now, but I was able to pick up 6 of these guys. If this is it, if you can guess what those are, you'll figure out what kind of fish I picked up. I'm about to go ahead and put them in this. I'm going to set this tank up. Well, I don't know if this is going to be the permanent tank. It's a 29 gallon that I have. I'd rather put them in a 20 gallon long like these up here. But for right now, till I get done with quarantine, this might be their temporary tank. Obviously, I got to clean it out a little bit and go ahead and put these guys in there and get them used to that water, acclimatize them a little bit, and then this will act as their quarantine tank for the time being. So let me go ahead and get ready and start cleaning this tank out, and I'll show you once these guys are in there again. All right, as you guys can see, I already cleaned this out. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling it up with water. Right now I don't have any shells, so what I'm going to be using temporarily are going to be these little albos, which should work as a temporary dwelling for these guys. Like I said, I think there's 8 of them in there, and he did give me a couple of shells, but these guys like to have plenty of these, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse these off and then drop them in there to provide a little bit of a temporary home for them until I can get some ordered. I'm also going to go ahead and put some sand on the bottom of this, since they do like to dig around and move substrate. So let me go ahead and do that while the water's still filling in. I have a half a bag of pool filter sand, and that's what I'm going to be using right now. Just because it's late and I need to get something in there and get these guys going. I might end up mixing this up if I need more with some of the stuff that I locally source. But for the time being, I think this is going to be sufficient. So let me go ahead and get that in there so that they can have something to dig around and move around while they're in there. All right, well, here's one of the good things about having media that's already cycled and ready to go, is that you never know when you're going to pick up fish. And if you happen to pick them up, you got to have some way to make sure that the tank they're going to go into is safe for them. So one of the things that I like to do, I like to have spare sponge filters in some of my tanks. So I'm going to be able to take this one right here, which is in this tank that's been cycled for a while. It's actually one of the quarantine tanks that I have, and I'm going to be able to take this in there, drop it in there, and be able to cycle that tank so that it's ready to go. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you when I put those fish back in. All right, I dropped that sand in there. It looks a little bit murky. I'm just going to do a quick water change, and that should take care of that. I'm going to do it while the fish are getting acclimatized to the water. So the next time you guys see this, they should be in the tank. As you guys can see, this is starting to clear up real nice. I went ahead and pulled another sponge filter that I had. I really want to make sure a couple of things, that I have enough cycled media in this tank, and also that I have enough air movement, because it does get pretty hot inside my fish room, and I really don't want to lose these guys. So the more oxygen I can get inside of there, the better off they're going to be anyways, and the quicker the tank's going to be able to cycle. So I've got a sponge that's rated for 60 gallons and one that says between 20 and 30 gallons. So I think that should be more than enough media to be able to get this tank basically instantly cycled. So now it's just a minute of it's just time for these guys to get acclimatized, and then I can go ahead and put them in the tank. So I already dropped in the temporary housing for them. I've got to order some shells for them. I'll probably go to Amazon and order them off of there. So I believe they're the extra large escargot shells that most people use. So that's what I'm going to try to get for them too. So let me give it a few more minutes and I can drop these guys in here, and I'll show you how they turn out. All right, so here's what's going to happen, and I need to be very clear with this. This is a quarantine tank. It means no other fish other than the fish that I have here are going to be in this aquarium. So there's a couple things that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and just take everything that's in here and pour it in here. I'm not worried about this water because, again, this is a quarantine tank. Not only that, that water is already the water the fish have been in here. And the reason you don't normally want to do that when you bring them in from a fish store is you put them into a tank where there's already other fish, is because you could possibly contaminate your other fish or get them sick. Again, this is a quarantine tank, which means there's no other fish in here and none have been here before. These are the only fish that are going to be in here. So I can absorb, I can keep them in observation, and if I see that something is going wrong, I can go ahead and treat it. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and cut the knot off of here and let them in here, because this is the only place they're going to be. So the shells are in. Actually, they line it up, so I don't have to worry about making sure that they're turned around and the fish won't be able to get out. But hopefully later on, or probably tomorrow, when I come back in here, they'll be outside of that shell. If you can believe it, there's 8 fully grown Shellies in just those 2 shells. Just double checking, make sure there's nothing in here. So that's it for right now. Once they go through quarantine, I'll obviously have to set this up so that it actually becomes a permanent home for them, whether I decide to keep them here or move them to a different tank. I do have a 55-gallon that I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe just setting it up for Shellies, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided that. But that's it all for right now. Hopefully the next time you watch this, these guys will be out of their shells and you guys can get a better close at them, better look at them. So for right now, until tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and leave it at that.